What's up, guys? It's Joel from the Fun Pimps. This is a first look at distant terrain. This is just a screenshot. I don't actually have a working build of it that I can show you myself live yet. But Chris, our lead programmer, he's been working on this, and you can kind of see right here where the regular terrain ends, somewhere off in here, and then it switches to the distant terrain. And the distant terrain is basically the same as this terrain, except I think it's a little bit lower poly, and we just generate this big mesh based on the height map of the world. But here you can see the snowy mountains of Navezgane, which you've never been able to see at a distance, which is really cool. And I guess you'll be able to configure the range, and it's going to end up being at least a mile, if not 2 to 2.5 miles. Maybe there'll be a slider, so guys with a better system can extend their draw distance and see this distant terrain. We don't have trees showing up yet. We don't have buildings or POIs or anything, but we're taking it one step at a time. Just seeing the terrain in the distance is a huge improvement, and we're talking about strategies to get more stuff off in the distance. But really excited about this so far, and hopefully next weekend I can show you a live walkthrough instead of just an image. But this is all I have for now. But I was so excited, I really wanted to talk about it and share it with you guys. So we've added a new crop to the game, and it's a hop plant, and these produce hops. I just planted these a little bit ago, and we improved the hoe. I might have showed this in another video, but the attack rate, I sped up the animation so it's much faster, so you can clear an area out pretty good. And the fertilizer, as long as you have some in your inventory, you can make fertilized ground, which grows crops that produce a lot more. So if I planted this on non-fertilized soil, I think it would only produce 2 seeds. So you wouldn't get much of a yield from it. But if you plant it on fertilized ground, I believe you're going to get around 5 seeds. But let's wait and find out here. So plant a few more of these. So I'll plant a few more that aren't fertilized just to see what these guys do. Oh, I can't even plant it. So apparently hops is fertilized ground only, because this is kind of a cool plant. Now, why is the hop plant so good? Well, it makes hops. And with hops, you can now brew your own beer. And beer is no longer just another flavor of coffee. What beer does now is, well, let's wait. I'll show you guys later in the video after I get it done. Let me plant some more. I'm getting sidetracked here. Let's see. So upgrade, as long as you have fertilizer, you can upgrade the dirt to fertile ground. And speaking of ground, we improved our mint mapping. And I think I have 13 chunks here. No, I've only got 8. I should switch it to 13 because it looks so much better. I will be right back. And I'm back. And you can see our new mint mapping, it basically smooths out the ground in a distance. We used to get a lot of tiling on our textures in the distance, and now you can see basically, let me put a bedroll down so I can find my little farm here. There we go. Let's go run around and check things out. Gave the snow biome art a little bit of an overhaul this week. You can see the ground no longer, you can see this pattern here, but at a distance it pretty much blends out to a nice even white, so that the hills, you don't see those tiling patterns anymore, which is really awesome. Especially with the distant terrain coming, that was something that, you know, we had to have because it looked really bad. So this is how it looks on your average sunny day. You guys don't know, you haven't really seen a whole lot other than screenshots, but we've totally redone all the fog and everything in the game. Like as far as all the sun colors, the sky colors, the distant horizon, the fog, everything's much natural looking. Look at that. See how it blends out nice. And now let's change it, if I can, to snowing. So this is when it starts to snow, you get a completely different spectrum set for, you know, more of a blizzarding kind of fog level and atmosphere, which is pretty cool. Uh-oh. It's a bear. Don't feed the bears, because all they eat is human flesh, apparently. Anyhow, this is how the snow biome looks when it's snowing now. It looks pretty awesome. It's a bunny. Come here, bunny. But yeah, I think it just feels so much more immersive, the natural fog and light we have now. So let me fix that back. And just go check on our crops. Another thing we did to crops is we slowed down how fast they come in. I know some of you guys might think, oh, well, that sucks. It takes forever to farm now. I think it takes about 3 days per stage, and it is randomized now, so you might have to wait for some of your crops to come in when others have already come in, that kind of thing. But overall, I think it's going to be a good improvement to gameplay. So I will be back. We'll look at some other stuff and let this stuff keep growing, and I'll be back later to harvest this. We'll see how long it actually takes. So I'm going to show you guys some new UMA zombies I've been working on this week. Last week I think I showed you this guy here, the utility worker, and I believe you saw the soldier. And here is the old timer. He's going to be probably in the old west town. I made this new zombie eye texture for him, so still kind of working on it. I don't know if I'm 100% happy with it, but it doesn't look too bad. It's all bloodshot. And he's playing a player idle animation. This is just our UMA character building tool, basically, right here. But anyway, this guy you're going to find in the old western town. And zombie miner. This bad boy. Now, this is something new we put in. Joey put in damage. Oh, I don't know, like the white. Let's fix his beard real quick. He's supposed to have darker hair. He's like a buff miner, not an old dude when he died. So that's more like it. There we go. Like that. So anyway, Joey put in these damage decals, so we've got like, it's cool because it's like I can layer these in the order I want. So his beard went down first, and then in another layer we put down this this damaged skin. So this guy's got, he's messed up from whatever killed him before he got wrecked and turned into a zombie. But anyway, this guy's going to be found in mine shafts. Hopefully his mining light will be on. I know people requested that. I don't know how to do that yet, but I'll have a programmer hook that up. So, and he'll look cooler with a zombie animation, and I'll load these guys up in the game a little bit. This is just the character editor, and it's easier to show them without them doing the zombie dance. And there's the base character. Just kind of the base zombie that we use. Hazmat zombie. Alright. Football player. I'm going to show you guys a football stadium later. And I thought, well, if we got the football field, wouldn't it be cool if there was a few football zombies in it? These guys, you're not going to see these guys everywhere. They're pretty much restricted to the football field POI, but they're going to be big, tough linebackers, and I think they're going to be pretty cool, or linemen. So, there's the base female. She's just there for fun of it. She's not in the game. And the last but not least, this one's really cool. There's the fat lady I made the other day. And here is the zombie cheerleader. And what's really cool about her is we finally got a mouth hooked up into her leg. So she's got some nasty zombie teeth in there. So we're able to open and close their mouths now. Their eyes look around. So they're going to be a lot more lifelike, all the UMA zombies are. And we've even, we are writing UMA creates a new texture for every unique zombie, but, so we kind of had to use them sparingly, but now we're writing a texture cache, which is basically going to write out and save a texture to memory. So anytime I spawn one of these, it isn't going to make a unique texture per single zombie for every UMA zombie we add. It'll basically, all the cheerleader zombies will share the same texture. And she got bit by somebody. Some details in there. So anyhow, pretty excited. Oh, I made a lipstick overlay so I can color their mouth, their lips a different color. We're working on eyebrow overlays so we can change the eyebrows out on characters and basically make a lot of interesting and cool looking player characters, NPCs, and UMA zombies. Pretty powerful system. I'm really happy. We've been working on it for a while, and UMA has really come together, and the framework's there. We can do a lot of neat stuff with it now, so we're pretty excited. I've literally added, some of these zombies that need new assets take a little longer, but like the old timer, I put him together in 20 minutes. That's how powerful it is. You can build a new character in 20 minutes. And this one, I worked on her teeth. I did the custom eye texture. So, I spent probably half a day making her, but all we had was black tops before. So we changed the default top to kind of white so that I could color it. So I had to do that. Anyway, we did a little bit of work on her, but it didn't take very long at all. And football player, I put him together in maybe an hour. I had to do this little jersey overlay thing, but he didn't take very long, so yeah, he doesn't look awesome, but he's for an hour versus, typically an artist will take, some games they spend 2 to 4 months on one character, and I built this in an hour, so for an hour it looks pretty good to me. So here's the desert. I spent some time working on the overall look of it. When we did the MIP mapping fix, you can see now that the sand hills blend perfectly. There's no repeating tiling textures off in the distance. This is 13 chunk draw distance. And like I said, when the distant terrain is done, we're going to have, you're going to see for miles, not just, whatever the distance this is. But, the colors, I warmed up the overall tone of everything. I redid these, painted some little highlights on these, this grass texture here, this green, so they kind of pop now. Used to just be one solid color, now they're like a multi-tone, and they just kind of stick out nice. And overall, the tone and vibrance of this area, I'm just really liking how the desert's looking now. We made the bird's nest just a little bit bigger so they're easier to spot. Some people were having problems finding them. But yeah, so really excited. Oh, another thing we did was all the terrain now, all the blocks are a solid block. So some of the blocks used to have dirt on the side and sand on the top, for example. And the terrain shader can only handle 3 textures meeting, so that was just causing way too many seams. I haven't, ever since we did that, I haven't seen a single seam anywhere. As you can tell, there's like, it just blends so much better, and you don't see a bunch of texture glitches. So the graphics are really coming together nice. Oh, wow, chicken. Come here, chicken. Come here. Come here, chicken. I can't hear. Anyway, I'm pretty happy with the distant terrain. Everything's looking really nice, and just seeing all those you know, tiling textures gone now at a distance is huge. And hopefully next weekend I show you guys, you know, a 1.5 2 mile view distance in the same area here. Oh yeah, let's spawn some zombies. Let's see, where's the cheerleader? There she is. Turn her off so we can get a good look at her. Yeah, you can see her mouth is open. And she's... they behave just like regular zombies. Let's just take care of business here. They kind of have a weird reaction when they die. Yeah, the ragdolls aren't 100% right. But we're working on them. This is a work in progress. So anyway, I'm going to move on to the next thing. So here is a small prison POI that Alex is working on. Using my new catwalks, wise choice. This looks like a guard tower, guard desk, something like that. How do we get in here? Like a yard in there for the inmates. Prisoner zombie. I'm going to make some prisoner zombies. I'm just going to no-clip in here, so I don't know where I'm going. Let me out! Damn it! I ended up in jail. So it looks like we've got... oh yeah, this is cool. Look at that lighting. Nice. Yeah, it's my first look, guys. I'm just running around. So we've got... I'm going to make some sliding cell doors, so this is probably temporary. So we've got some inmate cells. I stuck on something. More cells. This is pretty cool. This is neat, this little barred walkway thing. So that's pretty much it. It's not huge. Maybe he's going to make it bigger yet. Guard towers. Zombies in there. Could be pretty fun. So this is a first look at a trader settlement. Hey, there's Shantytown. I made that place. Rick's working on this. We're going to put a sign in here yet. It says Trader Joel's. But this is where you'll come to do business. Looks pretty cool. What do we have here? Alright. We got like a generator for power or something. I still need to redo this texture. So Trader Joel will be in here. And imagine you're gonna just, he probably won't let you in, you'll just talk through the bars to him. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. These are my catwalks. Use those for like makeshift walls. Looks great. I love it. I love it when I make a new shape in 3D Studio Max and, you know, give it to the guys, and they like do stuff that I didn't even think about doing with it. You know, that's just, that looks awesome. They got spikes on top. It's pretty cool, and it's not even done yet. Alright, so I just found out that a few things aren't quite ready to go for showing you guys the full demonstration, but these crops are going to take a while to grow anyway, and I don't want to be waiting around running this game, growing crops all night long just so that I can show you guys, you know, the new plant and the brewing station, all that. So the brewing station is not done yet. Next weekend it should all be finished, and I will show you guys everything then. But oh, look at those little bubbles coming up in the beer. I had never noticed that. That is so awesome. That's because I'm a coffee guy. I don't drink beer. I drink coffee. That looks cool though. But anyway, here's the plan for beer. Basically, it's going to give you stun resistance. So if you're buzzed, you won't be able to get stunned. And it's also supposed to give you this huge boost of stamina. Gaz hasn't got that quite done yet. But yeah, it's going to be what you're going to use to do combat. So it's kind of like, you know, I'm going to have a zombie come at me. I'm going to drink my beer, huge stamina boost. I should be able to go nuts with a sledgehammer and have it not use up stamina while I'm under the influence of this. So let's get some zombies coming in here. Let them attack me. And I should take damage, but what's wrong with these guys? Wake up, fools. Oh yeah, sorry. But yeah, this guy's gonna hurt me. Stun me. Stun resistance. I can run from you anytime I want. Take that, fool. More skill. I'm level 1. Anyhow, yeah, so good armor. Anyway, painkillers, I think, and alcohol is going to give you stun resistance, which is going to be awesome, so you can not get caught up in a, oh, look at that, gorgeous sunset. I did that. I did all these colors. I did most of the world art, like all this stuff. I did the trees. I did all this stuff. I did that goldenrod. Asia did this little cotton. Because my cotton sucked, I spent 10 minutes on it in Photoshop. She made a 3D one. Anyhow, that's all I have to show you this week. Sorry for the clunky video. All right, Q&A time. Looks like we've got a lot of pages of questions. I don't think I'll have time to answer them all, but I will do the best I can. 10, Mad Mole, what are you most excited about coming in A15? Or the second thing, if it needs to remain a secret. I don't know, there's just so much awesome stuff coming. I'm pretty excited, you know, about UMA zombies, I guess, because I'm working on those. A lot of new POIs. Distant terrain, if that makes it in, I would probably take the cake for me, actually. So, you know, we're working on that, and we'll see what transpires. But, you know, there's a lot of great stuff that we've done and that we're working on. You know, traders might end up being cool. You know, we haven't really done any extensive testing or playing yet. I mean, the changes that those could make could be a big thing. So we'll see. Crazy Bro Pofo. Alpha 12 terrain. Any plan to go back to Alpha 12's biome based on elevation? Snow-capped mountains, desert valleys, and the dithered biome borders. No, we're not really doing that. But what we are doing is we are changing random gen to be image based. And what that does is allow Chris to read that height map and render the distant terrain in random gen also. So we'll be able to see mountains and whatnot, for hopefully miles if this all pans out well. And there's a lot of advantages to we're moving to probably a pre-processed random gen and image-based random gen. So basically, random gen is going to match the way Navigaine is developed. So, and instead of man-made images, they'll be randomly created based on information that we feed it. So it's going to be a lot more flexible, more powerful. Hopefully we'll be able to get some real world height maps and crop them out and make little small mountains that we blend in with our existing terrain. So we'll be able to add real world geometry and whatnot. Anyway, I'm getting far past the question, but we've got some great stuff coming. I think you're going to see the best random gen ever. Maybe even in A15, but might not hit till A16. We'll see. But we're starting to work on that, and things are looking really good. T-bubs, water blocks. Will water ever fill a block completely? Currently, when I build a 3x3 block wall and put water in the empty center block, only about 1/4 of the block fills up. We've mentioned, we're going to visit water one more time, so maybe the new design will handle that. Humphrey, are you bringing back the death ragdoll rather than death animations? I really like the old ragdoll because it's more real. Actually, we still have ragdoll. It's just we animate until we collide with something, and then they ragdoll. So jump off a cliff, you'll see your character should ragdoll down if you die. So we have the best of both worlds. We play animations and we ragdoll upon impact with anything that would stop the animation from looking good. Chayuna wants to know, any chance of a third-person camera for those who get sick from first-person? We're working on, we want to improve the third-person animations, and when we think that they're good enough to present all the time, then we'll probably allow a third-person game mode. Survivalist 89, will console version get trade NPCs and bandits like Alpha 15 on PC? I am going to stick my neck out and say most likely. Endurus, one question I'd like to ask regarding bandits is whether you guys might be considering a dynamic heat spawn system for bandit patrols, maybe in a similar way to how witch scouts operate, i.e. bandits being more likely to spawn attack if they think you have a fair bit that's worth taking. So yeah, we might have heat map bandits, most likely. The Batman, what are your thoughts on adding stationary vehicles like campers, trucks, military vehicles, etc.? We could find appropriate loot inside and upgrade the outside of bigger vehicles so they can be early game bases. It sounds like a great idea, but that's something that would be difficult to do, because in a fully destroyable game like 7 Days to Die, where you can break anything and everything, vehicles, it's really hard to make a good looking vehicle out of blocks. So you're kind of, to make a vehicle look good, you'd have to make it out of one giant model, and then to be able to modify that and turn it into a home would be kind of a difficult challenge to do. And stuff like that takes up a lot of texture space, and we want to save texture space for stuff that gets a little more bang for the buck, so to speak. Uncle Von Raider, zombie varieties. My question is that since there are cop and nurse zombies, will you be using other professions as well, like biker zombies on bikes or scientist zombies? Yeah, if you, we're doing a lot of custom new UMA zombies, and each one will have um, loot that is appropriate for that particular character. Saurus, question. Is there any chance to add some kind of settings options for random world gen to make it a little bit less random, like biome type ratio, average height, and POI density? Yeah, I think there's already a random world generation mixer. You can tune some of this stuff in, but yeah, we want to make it really customizable, moddable. The whole game's going to be very accessible, moddable, editable, and configurable. AGA Lamb 05. Would it be possible for the half mattress and two types of full mattresses, the slouched looking one and the flat one, to be craftable and used as beds like in previous alphas? Probably. I don't see why we shouldn't. I know a lot of you guys like to get really creative, so yeah, I mean, the more stuff we can add recipes to that makes sense, the better. So, easy peasy fakey, I think I pronounced your name right. Will there be tinder boxes or matches to light a campfire or torch instead? No, I think that's too. I haven't even played DayZ, but I heard DayZ is designed that way. Everything's kind of, super realistic. I mean, I don't know. I just don't think it really. Our game is pretty tense, and the time is always ticking, and the time it would take to pull out a tinder box and then light your campfire, light your torch. It just seems kind of a little bit tedious. Where we want to. I just don't think there's a lot of value in it. I mean, I've never even seen it in a game, but I don't play a ton of games. I play a few games for like 2,000 hours. That's my style. I get hooked on something and just play it for 2 years straight. I don't know, but I just I just don't think it. We've talked about that, and no, I don't think so. Stabby, you too. Do you guys plan to ever add steel armor and maybe a sword or battle axe of some kind? Yeah, I mean, we might add steel. Maybe the banded armor will be made from steel. It's hard to say what we're going to do with that yet. Paid. I don't know how to say that. Do you plan to have the construction tools, hammer wrench, lose durability when used to build and upgrade, and not just when you hit things with them or harvest with them? That's an interesting point. I wasn't aware of that. Sounds like a bug. I think they ought to lose durability. So let me put that on the list. Sorrow Thief. Currently, if you have a friendly fire off, someone can damage another player if they are not on their friends list. Is there any chance we could have entity tags separated, such as entity damage, that we can just stop all player damage but retain animal and zombie damage? Actually, we've got some all new settings coming for player damage and all that stuff. So it's part of our PvP, but we're gonna have all kinds of new options, and I think it's going to do exactly what you want. Wild Arms 2, can you make the chrysanthemum seeds so that we can plant them? Yes, we are working on that. There are tasks written for it, so hopefully Alpha 15 will come with that. Bears as pets. Since you're adding pets to the game, may I suggest the bears to be pets? I hope so. That's something I've already mentioned, and we want to do that, so as long as it all works out, I don't see why not. The evilest overlord. Oh, that was from Something Long 101. All right, evilest overlord says one of the best ideas GFP tried in Alpha 1 was trap covers. Is there any chance of getting a working version of this in the next couple updates? Maybe. We want to make some more traps, so that'll come in the trap update. Miner 69er, what are the chances of the next vehicle could be a four-wheeler and it be a two-seater, or could possibly carry more and move slightly slower than the mini bike and use more gas? We've got more vehicles coming. We'll see. I've always wanted a truck. I'm a truck guy. T-Bubs, ability to trade maps. Can we get the ability to trade maps with players? I'm not sure. Superman T85 backpack. So, are there any plans to add a backpack recipe to carry around more items? I wouldn't say concrete plans. It's more of a wish list item, but yeah, we'd like to see that. Aries Sace, Bandit AI. Will the AI for bandits be a lot better than the zombies, and will they show awareness of their surroundings? All right, guys, this is going to be a bummer, but the current state of bandits is just it's a huge deal, and we don't want to ship a crappy version because everybody's just going to say this game sucks, the bandits are a joke, bad reviews, more bad reviews. We don't want any more bad reviews. We want everything we do to be awesome. So bandits are not coming in A15. The good news is A15 is coming really soon. So we decided to pull bandits out because the animations don't look that good in third person yet. So we're mocapping a bunch of sweet animations. So players look great, NPCs look great, and then and in the meantime we're working on the AI, getting them ducking and taking cover, and we want it to be good, not we have some stuff in there. We made some progress, but we looked at it. It's just like, man, this is going to take too long to get this done. We've got all this other cool stuff for A15 ready to go. Why don't we ship A15 sooner than later? Because I think that's a better plan. So we're going to keep working on bandits. We're working on them right now, but they're not good enough to go out. And we don't want to hold the build up forever waiting for them to be good enough to go out. So we're going to put bandits, they're not going into A15. But like I said, the good news is A15 is coming soon. Kingslayer GM, are the new animations coming, like swimming and climbing the ladder? We're working on them. Morton 4150, Steam Workshop and modders. Do you have any thoughts about Steam Workshop and or using other modders from the 7 Days to Die community to create more stuff, prefabs, and other things? No. We're planning on Steam Workshop, but we're not going to use anything from modders. Morton 4150, hey dude, you only get one question. How did this slip through the cracks, Roland? Roland, you're fired. No, I'm kidding. Seasons. Have you considered adding seasons instead of having set biomes? Yeah, I think I've already answered this question about 100 times. And daughter, what do you think about a wheelbarrow vehicle for making mining a bit better by using it as a mobile storage chest? I don't know. We have a mini bike and it's got a basket. Seems like more the same, right? I don't know. The poor man's mini bike. Basically, you push it around. I guess we've heard of the shopping cart stuff. Maybe when we get a framework that makes it a little easier to add that stuff in, I'd be all over it. But right now, it's kind of everything's the mini bike's hard coded, and a lot of it's hard coded, and it's just hard for anybody other than a programmer and a bunch of time to get that stuff going. So it's kind of on hold until we can get it like UMA, and then I can just be like a Play-Doh factory and crank out stuff nonstop. Sills. I always thought it was Sillis, but I guess it's 3 L's. Sills wants to know, I wanted to know if there are going to be iron scrap tools and iron scrap hand weapons in 15. No, they're not. Might never happen. Maybe it will. Scrap iron tool tier, it just seems like we've got enough stuff with tools. I mean, it's kind of cool, but I don't know. Probably not. Emirate, will modders have access to using UMA to make zombies? Yes, you already do. In fact, you just open up Archetypes XML and start coding. You don't have the cool, character editor thing that I have, but that's only good for sliders. I mean, you can do all that with just XML, but we'll definitely release that at some point when we get ready to do all the tools in Steam Workshop. Laser Blade 01. If you get the crossbow to allow attachments, flashlight, scope, laser sight, whether you part them into stock, crossbow, trigger housing, whatever, can you also make melee weapons interchangeable? I don't know what you mean by making melee weapons. Oh, you mean give those parts? I'm not sure. It might be kind of cool, but it just seems like adding a lot of stuff that's going to clutter up your inventory, you know. Vegetarian zombie. Craftable compass. Any chance you can make the navigation compass craftable and or waypoints as skill upgrades? I take it you think that it's too easy to just have that stuff built in. That seems like a mod that can happen at some point. I don't think we're going to do that. Henrique. Maybe that's how you pronounce that. Otherwise, it's H3NRIQ. Will all blocks in the blocks XML ever be craftable by the player? No, definitely not all blocks. We'll make as many as we can craftable, but having every single block, it just, you guys can mod that into your recipes and have it, but there's just too many blocks. It would clutter up the menus. You'd never be able to find anything, and I don't think it would be good for the game. Johnny Two Fingers, what happened to your other fingers? That's the question. What are your thoughts on creating a lure such as an alarm clock or even the turd already in the game to lead zombies away from a location? You can already do that by throwing stones. I don't know if you guys knew that, but if you throw a rock, they'll go check the sound out. But yeah, I think some kind of time device would be really handy. Maybe when we get remote detonate bombs, you can set one in the end of town and pop off some fireworks, and then the zombies will go check it out and you can go loot. I think that would be great. Carghoul, what do you think of making a stone throw do some damage and then maybe add a new quest of killing a zombie using stones? Maybe. Doesn't the stone do a little bit of damage? I thought it did a little bit, like 1 or something. But maybe it doesn't. Should be easy to change. Cork 55. Would it be possible down the road to allow items to have multiple upgrade components? Oh, you mean like weapons and flashlight attachments? It's probably anything's possible, so I would say yes, it's possible. Wesley02. I know 7 Days to Die isn't an FPS. It isn't? Yes, it is an FPS. I mean, it's not an FPS in the sense of like being all about shooting, but it is a first-person game. So, but anyway, and with guns, so technically it is an FPS. But could you slightly change the gunplay so iron sights don't zoom in so far, and maybe have some new weapons like M16, which has been suggested a lot. We have some new weapons coming. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you think the iron sights zoom too much? Maybe they do. I need to check out some other shooters, I guess. Jax Teller, what's up, buddy? Will there be any changes to how the sniper rifle sight moves when it is zoomed in so that it is like other games that have the movement slowed down? God, I hope so, because it really sucks, especially if you have a decent fast mouse speed. Because I think I thought we put something in for that, but like a zoom speed, Zoom look speed. I thought we did this already, but maybe I'm thinking of something else. But yeah, we do need to slow it down when you're zoomed in. So hopefully, Wolf Boy CW spawn settings option. Is it possible for additional spawn settings options in P2P so that's in single player games, for instance, set animal spawn rate and zombie spawn rate so you can have normal zombies but very high animal spawns? I don't know about an option, but I mean, you can do that in really easily by modding the game yourself. You open up spawning XML, and you can just add more zombies and reduce or more animals and reduce zombies or leave them the same. Ripper wants to know: are there any plans for adding underwater grass, seaweed, water plants, algae to the oceans and lakes as they're barren? Yes. For some reason, the decorator does not work with water, so it's kind of like a feature that we need to add. But yes, definitely want to see that. I want to have some good underwater exploration in the game with looting and perks for holding your breath longer, maybe even an oxygen tank so you can go underwater for lengthy periods of time and do some exploration. Wolf Boy CW fishing. I was curious how you're planning to implement fishing. Are the fish going to be preset in the world, or will you be using a percentage-based system where you cast out a line? Actually, we have something else in mind, but it would spoil another feature that's almost done and ready to show. So maybe next weekend we'll talk about this a little more. TSBX Mad Mole. Will the bandits scale with the player level at all, or should we expect to encounter a guy with an AK and a bad attitude at low levels? Pretty much everything is going to scale. I mean, we're coming up with a new spawning system, and it's going to say, hey, what level is this group? So say you got a level 10 guy and a level 12 guy, it's going to maybe average their levels out. Say they're level 11, and you're going to get level 11 stuff. And if you've kind of maxed out all the zombies, basically we're going to say, hey, instead of two level 11 zombies, you're going to get one level 22 zombie, whatever that might be. And that'll help performance and make sure that everybody on the server is going to get a horde. We've got code being developed for that. So Horde Night's going to be, everybody gets a horde. And we're going to distribute the zombies to everybody, and it's going to be awesome. I'm not going to talk about it anymore until we get a little further along, but that's kind of the plan. The rally. Can we get soon more zombie classes with specials, hit points, speed, attacks, hordes? Working on new zombies if you look at the videos, and we're going to make more special infected for sure. 2182 run. Are you planning to have it so that the player's sleeping body remains in the game after he logs off, so that he must make sure he's in a safe location? And with that, will there be multiple home bedrolls to choose from after death? Hopefully. I've already mentioned this, and I like that feature. I think it adds realism. You can't just log out and disappear into thin air. I mean, say you're playing PvP. Some guy steals your crap, kills you, and takes your crap. You respawn maybe, he's running away. You and your friends are after him. He's got all your loot. You grab your backup gear and you're chasing this guy. And he just says, screw it, I'm going to log out. And he's like, totally safe. I don't think that's right, And, I played some Rust, and I always thought it was kind of interesting, be like, God, I wonder if someone killed me while I was sleeping. Maybe I'll log in and look at it, and I'd find myself logging in. Well, maybe I'll harvest a little wood and scrap while I'm here, just throw some metal in the furnace, then I'll log out again. Anyway, it's kind of a neat gimmick that gets you to return and play the game more than you normally would, because you're curious, because your guy isn't safe, unless you made your base right, or so I think we're going to add that in there. Maybe it'll be an option, so those who don't want sleeping bodies can have the old way, but I think, we should definitely put an option in for that. Hand cannon, regarding caves. Regarding your comment on caves being resource heavy in the last video, is it be possible, would help to possibly create a sub-biome specifically for cave generation with a fixed spawn probability? Actually, I talked to Robert, and it wasn't so much that the caves themselves were too expensive. It was the generation of the caves that was very expensive, which is why we're moving to a pre-processed random gen, so we can make things as intricate and as detailed as we want. We're going to have a very high quality random gen with caves and roads and rivers, and it's going to be the best random gen you guys have ever seen. And we're really excited about it. We're excited about the distant terrain that'll be also with it. So, some great stuff's coming. And we're going to see the old caves that were winding and cool return. Stallion's Den, Mad Mole. Block IDs have been discussed many times. Any idea when we'll see them increase to a reasonable number, 5,000 or 10,000? Yeah, eventually. We add more as we need them. It's not, I know it's not cool to say this, but it's not our priority to, support you modders while we are, in early access. It just causes a lot of false bug reports, and it makes, developing the game a little harder. I mean, we love you guys. Don't get us wrong. We love the mods you're making. We love all the stuff you're doing. So we can't just, we're not really at that point where we can support you guys the way we want to support you. We want to give you the best tools. The mods you guys are going to be making are going to make what you're doing now look like junk, because the tools are going to be awesome and the support is going to be awesome, and if everything works out, you guys are going to be able to do everything we've done and then some. So it's going to be great. So it's just a matter of time. But yeah, we're going to definitely increase the block number. I think the next increase is going to take Chris like a day to do it, but there'll be enough blocks that you guys will, won't be asking for blocks ever again. At least I hope not, because we'll increase the number substantially. What I wonder is, what the hell are you going to do with all those blocks? But anyway, some people love blocks more than I do, I guess. Are gore blocks being worked on at all? Asked by Power Pact. We've got some changes. No, we're not doing gore because it's just too hard to look good. Those big 1 meter terrain blocks look ugly, and people are bagging us for our graphics. But we might return to them in the future when we get more time. But we're working on some stuff like maybe zombies will be able to climb each other. I mean, kind of the whole thing was we wanted the whole World War Z thing. We thought that was cool. But as it turned out, the programmers never had time to really polish it. So it was a good idea that just kind of never really worked out that good. It just made the game look ugly sometimes. But if we could, the overall goal though, when you break it down into a simple task, what did I really want with that? I wanted zombies to be able to climb up over the pile of other zombies. So if we can just get zombies climbing live zombies, or I think we could have the same effect, yet you wouldn't have the mess of gore to clean up afterwards. It was kind of like, all this maintenance of cleaning your fort up. It was kind of like cool, but there was things we didn't like about it. So we're going to try some other stuff, and hopefully we can land on something very similar, or that works similar. But the concept is, if you get a horde of zombies there, maybe they can kind of climb up over each other. Maybe we'll make all zombies like spiders, and they can all climb. I don't know. Just a crazy idea, but probably not. But yeah, we're working on it, and we're trying some stuff out, so we'll see. Mad Mole wants to know, hey, that's me. What the hell? This is a troll. Do seatbelts look as thin and flimsy against all people's chests, or just mine? And should I join Mystic, Instinct, or Valor? I'd like to know how you guys hack this in here. Troll, all right. LOL. Good one. The answer is, yeah, seatbelts always look flimsy on my gigantic chest. I have a 52-inch chest. Well, I did. I've been kind of cutting weight. It's not that big anymore. But I've got some abs in progress, and then when I get my six-pack, I'm going to hit the weights and get big again. Or bigger. I'm still pretty big. All right, X-Cold. Fyrax. When digging further underground, there is not too much to fear. Are there plans to add more challenges such as lava or zombies spawning in dark areas of the mine? Hold on. Yeah, I made a miner zombie. I showed him in the video today. He's going to be able to dig through dirt and stone and all that stuff probably pretty fast. So, and we are looking into the breadcrumb system. I hope it comes with Alpha 15, if not Alpha 16, but we want to get the breadcrumb system in so zombies can actually follow you and reach you, and difficult to, in places that are harder for them to, get to you right now. So definitely we want to add some underground challenge. It's way too easy to just dig a mine and run down there and be safe. Nettie the Noodle, are there any plans to add more aspects to the survival part of the game, such as diseases, encumbrance, inventory, size, progression, and also to end the naked respawn when you die, since it makes no sense that you wake up completely naked? It makes complete sense that you wake up naked. You died, and you're a new guy who spawned in. I guess to me, someone stole all your crap. That's why you spawn naked. You're left for dead. That kind of thing. If you play as a Walking Dead character, they're never naked. So I guess you can get the DLC and because they're never nude. But yeah. But the other things you're mentioning, yes, we want to add more diseases. We'd like to see inventory size progression, encumbrances, and yeah, that would be encompassed in in the inventory progression. So yeah. Carl Zilla, are there any plans to add objective groups to the quest system in the same way that there are requirement groups, so that quests can have complete objective X or complete objective Y? Yeah, quests are going to be improved. I mean, we've got some real basic stuff in there, but we're going to have locational objectives, and yeah, we're working on that. So yes. Pablo wants to know, wall spikes. Is there any way to add floor spikes to walls? It's funny you mentioned that. We've redone spikes. I'm not going to say what we've done to them yet, but you can stack. You can definitely stack them, or at least I saw somebody post a screenshot of stacked spikes. Above shadows, can you add more only lootable, non-craftable weapons like machetes? Maybe. Lord Buttnut, water. What future plans are there for the future of water physics, and possibly floating blocks? Could really expand base potential? We can already build in water, and we want to redo the physics simulation a little bit, or have a water 3.0. Goblin Girl, the octahedron dirt blocks for farming are a little unsightly. I understand the need to get away from making things cube-shaped, so I was wondering if perhaps there'd be a way to craft the potted plant into a single farming plot. You mean like a block plant? I don't know. I don't see what's wrong with the current farming. I just showed it in the video and it's fairly decent. You just right click, plant your plant. I guess, I don't know. Rephrase your question next week. I don't quite understand exactly what you're saying here. Dead Zombie Girl, female gamer fan. are you going to be adding anything for the female gamers out there, like clothes and more hairstyles? Yes, we just put in shorts, and well, they were actually unisex, and we added a skirt, which is also unisex, because I don't know, what do you do for the guy? So I guess if you're Scottish and you want to wear a kilt, you can do that now. But we have skirts, and there's a bunch of new hairstyles coming. So the answer is yes. Falling was too beautiful to delete. I'm going to pause while I read it. That was heart touching, Dead Zombie Girl. Yeah, thank you. I mean, I love Skyrim. I love zombie games. I primarily made this game for me, and I feel blessed that so many people, enjoy it also. And yeah, I mean, I'm a builder in real life. I like to build stuff. I've built houses. I built cars. I built crazy Halloween costumes. Anything you can imagine. I paint, I draw, everything. Very crafty kind of guy. So, I put attention into detail into stuff like building. I want it to feel immersive and somewhat real. So it was my idea to do the whole frame and the upgrade path because that's kind of how you build a house in real life. You frame it and then you put the siding on, insulation, drywall, paint, etc., etc. But so we kind of wanted to simulate that. And the guns, the parts. I think I'm a gun nut too. I've fired every gun you can imagine when I was in the military, and I've fired the M60, and I've cut a tree down with one. It's amazing how much firepower those things have. M16, I was an expert with a 45, so I'm not a total gun freak, but I know how to handle a gun, and I've got plenty of experience with them. I've shot muzzle loaders, crossbow, regular bow. I've done everything. So a lot of my real life experience is translated into this game. I mean, I know it's not 100% accurate, but it's something. It's always this game's a work in progress. I don't the gunplay isn't as good. Nothing's ever as good as you want it to be. But for as many things as we're doing, I feel like we're doing a pretty good job, and things are just always getting better. And that's the awesome thing about early access and the whole road, the adventure to someday I'm going to show you guys some really old screenshots, and I'm just going to talk about them. It might be a boring video. It might be, it might be amazing just to kind of like show you guys the very beginning, because this game looked, it was nothing when we started. But I've saved old folders from old alphas and pre-alphas, and I'd like to just show you guys, do a video. I'm going to do a video sometime and just talk about who built this, or what was the story behind this, and I think it might make an interesting video. So if you guys want to see that, let me know. I think it would be kind of fun. I've always wanted to kind of do a post-mortem of the game, but the game's not done yet. But I could do something just to show that. But anyway, thanks, Dead Zombie Girl. This is why we do this. We like to, I love to see when you guys really like what we're doing. Lets us know we're on track. So, Black Eye, 1987. Pause priority craft queue. What are your thoughts about implementing a pause prioritizing feature for the crafting queue so that we don't have to cancel a job but can rearrange the order? That would be awesome. I don't know how hard it would be to do that, but it's something that's come up, and I'll have to talk to Lathan and maybe Robert about it. It's kind of like we're pretty happy with where it's at right now, so it's kind of like I think that we worked on the GUI for so long. It's like let's take a break from that. We want to do some other stuff for a while, but eventually, when the game is nearly feature complete, we're going to start going over some of these little polished features like this, and maybe that'll happen. So it's a great idea, though. Little Miss Nordy. So there is a loot all button you can click to take everything from a loot container. By default, it's R. are there any plans for a drop all button so that you can clear the loot container and drop its contents to the ground, thus allowing to be able to loot, to be able to respawn in the container after its nominated time? I don't know. I can't tell you that. Sorry. I don't know if we have plans for that. Dr. Brown. Is it possible to implement certain cars that look exactly like other cars, but these cars could possibly have an alarm active, so as soon as you hit loot, it triggers and acts like the Screamer Scout? Yeah. I mean, all we have to do is just make a little horn or alarm trigger that has a massive heat map signature, and zombies would show up for sure. We've talked about that. That was in the original car design plan, and we just kind of like, never really had time to finish it, so it could happen. JDOS, the survivalist, throwable weapons. Why not add in Molotov cocktails since we have, yeah, why not? Resources, time, money, other higher priority things to do. I mean, essentially, it's no different than a pipe bomb. You throw it, it kills stuff. I mean, it would kill them slower and they'd light on fire. I think it would take a little bit of code to get the fire to spread to other guys, and we kind of wanted to hold off on that until we get burning blocks, if and when we get burning blocks. So if we get houses to burn down, then Molotov cocktails would certainly come in that build, and maybe even a flamethrower, that kind of thing. But we've got to get houses burning down, it seems like. I mean, yeah, we could light zombies on fire with it, and that's cool, but it's, you can do that in other games. It's okay. I mean, for now, we've got pipe bombs, and that's good enough. But yeah, I'd like to see them at some point. Pixon, will you guys increase the range that you can hear other players? Any plans to increase? I don't know. I mean, I'd have to listen to it. I can't say because I don't know what the state of it is. I'd have to actually play and see. I mean, if it's good, bad, or worse, So that's kind of something we'd have to evaluate. Fishing. I'm not talking about fishing until we get this other thing disclosed, which I can't talk about yet because it's not done. Any plans to add an option that would allow us to disable zombies but keep raiders in the world? I don't know about an option. That's something you guys can mod in super easy. Will mounted weapons ever be a thing? For example, heavy machine guns with tripods. I'm not sure about mounted. Probably might have some heavier weapons coming you can carry around. MDF25, what are your thoughts on making empty shopping carts you can find pushable? We already talked about them. We've talked about them a bunch. I think it would be kind of cool, but until we get a better framework for vehicles so that I can, designers and content developers can just add that stuff in without, bugging a programmer for a month, then it's not going to happen. But maybe we'll get the framework for vehicles improved, and then that kind of thing can happen easily. Gamada, is it possible you will add external password protected control panel to the drawbridge so teams could open and shut from inside and out without having to carry some remote in one of their slots? I think we're going to do kind of like the Minecraft thing. I mean, right now it locks, so I mean, what's wrong with that? You can just lock it and nobody can use it except you, unless they have the password. So I don't know why you would need a control panel. I mean, we want to do wiring, control panels, and all that stuff. So when that happens, yeah, something like that might be possible. Garrett Jacks. Yo, Mad Mole, my fine funk soul brother. Lay your peepers on this. I'm throwing down for you right here. All right, gyrocopters. Did I just say gyrocopters? Because if I didn't, gyrocopters. Yeah. you see that badass dude, my main man, Mad Max, and Mad Max 2, yeah, gyrocopters, man. You already got the snake, so we can trick some jive turkey into giving up his good gazillion. So yeah, gyrocopters, my brother, make them fly and make them fly real slow, so that map you don't make all go funky. Yeah, are we having gyrocopters? Probably. You know that image is leaked already. Everybody's seen it, so yeah, okay. They're probably going to happen. I think I could say this. It was just kind of a side project that our modeler did because he wants them. And when the programmers get time, maybe it'll make it into the game, kind of thing. So we'll see. I'd like to see it happen, though. I mean, we're all on board for the gyrocopters. The pimps want it, so most likely it's going to happen. But until then, it's on the wish list. Spawn Killer Z, or no, Spawn Killer 12. Sorry. Is there any chance there is a coming zombie that's even bigger than the Fat Hops and very strong, maybe with poisoning radiation effect? Maybe. Yeah, the zombie bear. It's definitely bigger than the cop, and he's nasty. And he's already in the game, but we've got a new, bigger, better model for him. So Exiloscent, but I know what you're saying. Some kind of super big giant zombie. We have some new zombies coming, but I'm not sure they're going to be any bigger than that guy. He won't be able. If you can't pass through a 2-meter door, then that kind of causes some new problems to solve. So that's why we've kind of kept the zombies at that size. Exiloscent. My question is to ask if there are any plans to have kill synergies, like bonuses to one skill for having X amount of ranks in another. No plans, but that's not a bad idea, so it could happen. FranCOGP. I don't know how to pronounce your name, guy, but I recognize you. You're on the forums a lot. Is there a plan for adding decals, bullet, hitting zombie the train? Maybe. It'd be nice. It's one of those things that's not critical, and it's just an effect. It slows the frame rate down, blah blah blah. But it's cool. I'd love to see it. We kind of have a cracked decal. I'd like to have something better though, like bullet holes, like you said. But time will tell. It's kind of, we've talked about it a few times, but we have to get other things fixed or bugs done before we can add that. Ragaroth, more tools. What are your plans for more tools, like a flare gun, a grass trimmer, or any other tools you can talk about? I think, we don't really have any plans for any more tools. I just improved the hoe so it's easier to, not take grass out with, but, you still got your fist. It's pretty solid. I don't know. Nothing really. Sorry. Kerbal, will there ever be mountains or stone or similar in random jam like this? Well, I don't know. Maybe. We've got some new stuff going with random jam, and now with the MIP mapping improvement, we could probably make some stone mountains. They just tiled so bad I never wanted to, so it might be able to happen now. Add bicycles from Hacksmanky. You guys have been, I'm sure you've seen the leaked screenshots. There's a bicycle we've already modeled, so most likely it will become a reality. We throw away very little. We're not very wasteful around here at the Fun Pimps. So most likely we will see that bicycle. I am early. Love this game. Instead of doing hotkeys, can we bring back the right click? No, we're not doing right click. Dugori, can you guys add an option? I'm sorry, I don't mean no, but maybe, but there's no plans for it. We're gonna try the hotkeys first. But there's already the action menu. Works pretty good. I don't know. I don't really see much of a need for it, but maybe. I'm not saying never. Just one of those things that if we can come up with a clean design for it and knock it out in a day, yeah, we could probably bring it back. But right now, we've just got so many more things we want to accomplish. We can't focus on these little things or get lost in these little details. We're just all about business right now and getting big major features in that are going to make a big impact to the game. Dugori, can you guys add an option to empty murky water bottles and to also unload a nail gun? I think you can unload any gun as it is, and by taking it apart, that empties the ammo out. And a way to empty that murky water, other than drinking it, huh? I don't know. You can boil it and then drink it, and then you get your jar back. But I don't know. I don't really know if we're gonna mess with that. Uh, Enos123. Sleep and fatigue. Any chance you might add a fatigue debuff and the option to sleep through the night if you're in a safe place? That's fine and dandy for single player, but how do you handle that in multiplayer? You know, everybody in the server, okay, we're all going to bed, good night. And then past time, I mean, I don't know. They did it in Minecraft that way, and it was okay, I guess. But definitely like the idea of a fatigue debuff, and maybe you can drink caffeinated beverages to remove that buff, something like that, and then you just go hang out near your sleeping bag and you kind of get rested up or something. Something like that could work. I don't know. It'd be kind of interesting though. How many pages are there? Oh my God, you guys are killing me here. Does it just keep going? All right, let me just keep grinding. Let's see how far we get. Boom slang. Is there a page for endgame? A plan for endgame? See, I'm getting kind of like mushy brained after I read about 4 pages or so. I just start to like fade. All right, but I'm gonna grind through this, guys, because I love you guys. Fans are the best. Is there a plan for endgame since the current endgame of 7 days is too easy? Love to see zombie with more ability like that cop zombie. You think it's easy? Just wait, buddy. When you get racked on day 40, don't 42, whatever it is, don't come crying to me. It's too hard. That's what you're gonna. We're putting in a bunch of special zombies. We've nerfed the shit out of spikes. You guys are not gonna just build spikes and laugh. It's not happening. It's not the game we set out to make. It just kind of like balanced freak show is what happened. So spikes are rebalanced, and it's going to be more of a challenge. We've got breadcrumbs. We've got special infected. It's going to get nasty. And basically, we're going to evaluate kind of, hey, has this guy died? No, he hasn't died. What's his level? Okay, this guy's doing good and he hasn't died. Let's go wreck his shit. We're gonna like increase the difficulty dynamically. So you guys who are getting bored and who haven't died and you're on day 200, you're gonna get some nasty stuff come your way. And if you survive it, great. It's gonna be bragging rights to say, hey, I survived this long and nobody killed me yet. So you're gonna get nasty stuff coming your way. But the guys who are getting killed over and over again, God, I can't survive this game. Jeez, give me a break. This game's too hard. We're gonna ease up on that guy a little bit, and he's gonna catch a break. We figured the zombies ate him so many times, they're getting tired of his flesh, and they're gonna go eat on somebody else. But no, we're doing a dynamic difficulty system, and I think it's gonna be epic. So, sicko. Range. Hey, Mad Mole, any plan to increase the range of weapons, like the sniper rifle or hunting rifle, so that you can see an enemy, if you see them, you can actually hit them? Maybe. I don't see. That's a gas thing. I don't really see any issue with that. Are you actually sure that the range is smaller than that? I could check that out, but yeah, if it's not far enough, then yeah, we should increase the range. Most likely, yeah. Marin XR. with economy coming into play, will there be forms of passive income like collecting rent from NPCs that live in a fort you built, or NPCs purchasing items from a vending machine you built? I don't know about that. NPCs are going to be simple. You can probably recruit them and have them do stuff with you. Maybe they'll repair your fort, go hunting and do some tasks. But I don't know if they're going to have their own money and go. Skyrim is like, and Fallout are probably some of the best RPGs out there, and their NPC, they have 110-man team, and their NPCs don't do this kind of stuff. So I just don't see us like, you know, destroying them in terms of technology and game, game advanced AI. Especially, our game is, it's a very sandboxy. You can do anything you want. The zombies, there's hordes that come get you. The programming that all the things we do is no easy task. I'll say that. Especially in a dynamic world. If our world was static, then stuff it would be easier. But with a fully destroyable world, everything is a lot more of a challenge. D. Lorenzo, are you planning to make the skill system for cooking affect the dishes that you can make so that things cooked by a high-skilled player give you better buffs? Maybe. We want to improve food, so I'm not going to say no to that. That's for sure. How it'll be done, not sure that yet. I don't know if there'll actually be skill. Maybe there'll be recipe unlocks. But yeah, I mean, maybe. Zombie Horde, any thoughts to adding something to facilitate camouflage buildings, tree houses, clothes, etc.? Maybe clothing with UMA. We could do some tinting probably pretty easily, or dyeing, so you can dye your clothes black for good nighttime camo. I think all that would probably be feasible. Doing the buildings, I don't know, maybe. I made that camo net thing, but that's not real good. I don't know. You'd have to, I just like bury my house in dirt and let it grow grass around it, or just make a hatch. But I have covered forts in dirt so people can't find them before. Then it grows grass over it, whatever, or snow. I'll put snow over the top. Dan LW. Will we ever get to find the airstrip the supply aircraft takes off from? I don't know. Probably not. It comes from another island or from miles and miles and chunks away. Guppy Kerr, what's up, Guppy Kerr? Do you all still read Pimp Dreams, or is your roadmap pretty much solidifying? Every idea, I say this, and I can't say every, but almost like 99% of those ideas have been discussed. And yeah, pretty much you're onto something here. Our roadmap is solidifying. We have in front of us what we want to get done for Alpha 15, and we're getting pretty stingy about deviating from the plan, because every time we do, it pushes release dates back. It creates more bugs, and as much as it sucks, we have to say no to new random ideas a lot. That doesn't mean we don't. We're still there's plenty of new random features that got added to Alpha 15, and it's all good because it makes the game better. But it's not that I can't say. I can't speak for everyone, but I'll speak for myself. No, I don't visit Pimp Dreams at all. I haven't for a while because I've got so many ideas that I don't need any other ideas. It's not that there isn't anything good. If an idea is really good, it'll eventually kind of like get brought up in the dev diary. I'll catch it there. That doesn't mean, hey, go put your ideas in dev diary. It's just we've got so much to do that if I spend too much time in the forums, I couldn't even take time to do the video, and I wouldn't even have any work to show you guys, But that said, don't be discouraged from putting your ideas in there. It's not saying another dev isn't reading that and they won't come to me with the idea, or you know, so keep it coming. But you know, we're pretty focused right now, and we're trying to get 15 out, and we're trying to stay focused so we can ship the game in a reasonable time period and be done. You know, it's looking like definitely 2017 now. 2016 is just not going to happen. So maybe about a year from now, we'll be celebrating PC Gold, hopefully. Fire. With gasoline and flammable buildings, materials in the game, what are the plans for fire? I talked about fire a little bit already earlier. Jerome? Windows and mirrors. Any chance we can actually get some clean and new looking windows? I don't know. It's kind of an apocalypse. I don't know if we'll even, you know, I'm going and adding dirt to and grime and cracks to every texture that is in the game, so expect it to get dirtier. Sorry if you don't like it, but we're trying to make the game look totally apocalyptic and broken. I mean, so adding anything clean and new just looks totally weird and out of place anymore. Like that hotel I showed you just looks bad. We got a mismatch of old and new. We're trying to support that for a while, but it's just like, you know, the more grungy and beat up we make the game look, just the better it looks. So we're kind of going totally for the post-apocalypse feel at this point. Mad Mole Dork Chops wants to know, can you please consider adding a maximum light output so we can keep the light sources from blending into something intolerable? Why do we have to do that? Why don't you guys just add a little bit of constraint and just put do this, put that, just do that. It looks great. Why would you do this? I mean, why would you want all that light? I don't get it. I mean, all you gotta do is just, I mean, actually, okay, but to not be a jerk, I'm gonna go back and say, yeah, we actually, I think on console they do something where they only allow so many lights, or they average them or something. So if you do go crazy with torches, you don't end up with this. So maybe we'll port that feature to PC. I got to see how it looks. You know, I'm kind of a lighting nut. I'm not sure I want my lights merging together or whatever, but yeah, it would take some code to like stop the lights from doing that, and I don't know how much code, but you know, maybe at some point. But to me, I just show self-restraint, and I don't do that. Trashing bottom? Have you thought about a trash button? We're adding a slot for trash, since in multiplayer, tossing things on the ground drains performance. They despawn after a little while. I don't know how bad it really is. Is it really that bad? I think they just despawn after a minute or two. Irish Ghost. So I was curious if you guys suddenly displeased with Unity and decided to move off to a different engine, assuming you could, what would it likely be? Oh, I don't know. That's a pretty, you know, about the only thing else out there is Unreal, as far as I know. If I had it my way, I'd license Bethesda's engine and use a Fallout 4 tech and start modding that out. But I don't know. They probably wouldn't sell their engine to anybody, not that I know of. But yeah, we'll probably just stick with Unity and keep going. I mean, most likely that's what's going to happen. Decaying food, Untold Requiem. Hey, Mad Mole, any chance that food will go bad over time? Probably not. I mean, maybe, I'm not ruling it out, but it's like we've got so many other things to do, and how much we're making farming slower, and it's going to take, you know, and you have to have fertilized ground now to get the best yield from crops, and fertilizer is going to be a little difficult to get your hands on, or you know, it's kind of like if you want to be a super farmer, you're going to have to get a lot of fertilizer. And food is going to be a little more of a challenge, I think, in the upcoming build about 15. So that in itself will help. I don't know. Food started going bad. I don't know. That might just make people frustrated. I don't know. I'd rather have really good um, horde nights. I want the tower defense to be epic. So to me, I'd rather put more effort into that. Not, food is just food. Yeah, okay, in a real apocalypse, that would probably be your number one enemy. But in a game, it's more fun to defend against a horde and build an interesting fort that can stop the horde. To me, that's the core game loop, and farming is kind of a side game loop. And I don't really think that making the food rot. If we did make it rot, we'd have to remove stackable food because you'd have to have an individual property per item. You guys really want to lose the ability to stack your food? I mean, you could only take a few sandwiches with you, and your whole inventory would be full. So I don't think we're going to do it just the way stuff works. Or the whole stack could go bad. I mean, how do you do that? You move. It's just impossible to figure that out. Technically, it would be a bunch of memory and a bunch of hassle, and I just don't think we're going to do it because of the item stacking. It's been talked about a bunch, but due to the item stacking, we can't. So this guy wants to know more depth gun customization. Will there be more in-depth gun customization like sights, silencers, extended maps? Maybe. We'll look at that later.